I do a lot of talks promoting my book at the moment, and one of the lessons that I always tell the students and others is follow your dot. This is actually the title of my presentation. And I just want to take 2 minutes to share
Yeah,
with your
sure.
audience and yourself what this means. Because this is
Yeah.
something that a lot of students, as I've spoken in India, Mauritius, and Australia in the last 2 months,
Hmm.
collectively across the three continents, all students have had the same reaction, which
Excellent.
is,
They're
whoa,
all humans.
is that,
Yes.
are you serious? So here's the here's the example.
Yes, please.
When I started my PhD, I wanted to change the world, Krunal.
Yeah.
I wanted to be everything for everyone. When you do a PhD, Krunal, you don't just need to have a plan, but you also need to have a really good title, something that engages your students and your, people who want to read your PhD, so they know what it's about. So it's got to be really
Correct.
engaging. So I came up with a title that was 25 words long. I thought it was amazing. So I emailed it to my supervisor and I said, here's the title of my PhD. He replied with one sentence, which is something I think we all dread to get from our bosses, which was, come see me in my office tomorrow. So the next day I went and saw him in his office. I was really scared, like had I done something wrong? He
Wrong.
said,
Yeah.
sit down. I sat down. And then he said, is this your title? And I said, yes. And he said, are you trying to change the world? And I said, yes. I wasn't really trying to change the entire world, but I wanted to have a big impact. He said, give me that white sheet of paper and pencil. So I gave it to him. He drew a circle on that paper. And then he said, Kaushik, the white space in this circle represents the depth and breadth of knowledge that exists in this universe. He then took
Right.
the pencil and put a dot in that circle. And then he looked at me and said, Kaushik, that dot is you. That is the impact your PhD is going to have. And that is probably the impact you will have in your entire life. So stop
Mm.
trying to be the white space in that circle and just focus on the dot and be happy with that. Now, initially, Krunal, when he told me that, I was shocked. It was like a slap in the face. But then
Right.
as I thought about it, I realized it's actually one of the best pieces of feedback I've ever received in my entire life. Because what I realized from that advice is that I can't be everything for everyone. I can't do everything for everyone. I need to think about my little dot where I can have impact, whether it's with my wife, my colleagues, my team, and then block everything else out because it's simply just a distraction. When you focus on the dot and it's achievable, it'll give you a lot of happiness and satisfaction. But when you want to be the entire white space, that's when you get stress, anxiety, mental health issues, etc. This is something I've shared with students in Melbourne last week, in Mauritius last month, and in India in December. And the
Right.
students reacted in a similar fashion, which was just the look that you're giving me. Now, when I
Yes.
think
It's
about
just
your clients and students coming to Australia itself is stressful
mm.
because you're
Indeed.
coming
Indeed.
here on a mission in a new territory, new environment, no friends, potentially no family, and you're here on a mission to become a resident. But if
Yes.
you're coming in here with that baggage, it's setting you up to potentially have a lot of stress because nobody knows how the world is going to shift tomorrow. Nobody
No.
expected the pandemic, this
Exactly.
inflationary pressures. Companies are going to
Yep.
lay off a lot of people in the coming months in Australia.
Yep.
So it's going to get worse before it gets better. Now imagine a
Right.
student in a university trying to focus on a course thinking about their future. It's not easy, right? So
No.
my feedback, if you ask me for one simple piece of feedback, it is for your clients or the people you work with or mentor and guide. It is for them to think about their dot. And everything else, whether it works out or not, it's okay. Because as the subtitle of my book says, what's the worst thing that can happen? Seriously, what's the worst thing that can happen, Krunal?